What do you remember from the first time meeting President Obama?
His wife and my daughter Santita was classmates, and he and my son Jesse, mates, and tell me how smart he was. His dad, this guy's going someplace. And so we sat around the house, talk.
You said his election to the presidency was the last lap of a 60-year race. Describe what you mean by that.
54, Jim Crow becomes illegal. 55, the Montgomery bus boycott. 64, the public accommodation bill. 65, the right to vote. 68, Dr. King killed. And really from 68 to 08, it's a 40-year run through the wilderness. So to go from slave ship to the White House, to go from the balcony in Memphis, the balcony of the White House was quite a journey. And so getting to the big house with the keys is the last step of that journey. There are fights beyond that we now see, because people can, once you don't have the keys forever, and life is a dynamic, not static. So it was to get from being denied the right to vote to having an African-American president was a long and meaningful journey.
What was the emotion of that night for you when he was elected?
You know, I wept because it was the moment and it was the memories. I looked up on the screen where we had been in 68 during the upheaval in Chicago, Democratic Convention, right in front of every magazine. He had won the big one. He had won the big one, you know. The poor people who made it happen were not there. They couldn't afford to come to Chicago. People who paid the price with their blood and who for many years didn't have the right to vote, they couldn't afford to be there. And I long for their president. I wish Dr. King, Meg Evers could have been there just like for 15 seconds, just to have seen the glory of their work. It was quite an emotional moment.
Why did you decide to run?
I kind of got pushed into it. We were fighting to get Harold Washington elected. Thought we could win. Ted Kennedy and Mondale decided they were going to come here and campaign for Daley and Jane Byrne. We said, please don't come. This is a Democratic primary. We support you guys all the time. They said, we have to come. Daley and Byrne are our friends. We said, we must be chopped liver. So I tried to get Maynard Jackson to run. He wouldn't do it. Tried to get Andy Young to run. He wouldn't do it. I arranged somebody should run, at least in the primaries. And at some point, they began to say, run, Jesse, run. And so as I showed that I was serious and not just playing, I began to run and learn how to run.
I believe it was the 88 election. You win 16 of 21 primaries and caucuses on Super Tuesday. Then you win Michigan. How much of a chance at that point do you think you have to actually get elected?
A great chance. We didn't have the money. You know, we got 1,200 delegates with $19 million. Most cost-efficient campaign ever.